My name is Justin Wilson. You're listening to Deprogrammed. Still learning my own station. It's beautiful. Live on Radio Free Radio. Before I introduce my guests tonight, you may have noticed I'm not playing a Deftones song. Just trying to avoid whatever legal trouble that could get me into. So we are going to be talking Deftones tonight. But before we get into the show, I just wanted to take a second. If you dig this program, you dig Pop that was on earlier, the following program, Dead Week, if you dig anything that Radio Free Radio is doing, head on over to patreon.com/Radio Free Radio. Plop $1 on our Patreon page, and it gets you everything we do. And, you know, maybe listening to the shows isn't your thing. Maybe that's not that big of a sell for you. What you're really doing is helping keep the station afloat. And that, to us, means more than you'll ever know. Because having your support, having you dig what we're doing, means the world to us. And so we want as many people on board as possible. And, you know, it's going to come with time. And we're happy to have everybody who's on board so far. And it's just going to grow. It's going to get better. It's going to get bigger. It's going to get badder. Radio Free Radio taking over the planet, Jack. If you happen to be listening earlier on Popped, there was a little bit of a situation, a kerosene situation in the studio clubhouse. I'm a little loopy right now. I'll be right out front with it. I'm going to do the best I can. But we're talking Deftones tonight. And actually tonight I have Evan Miller.
Hello, hello.
And Jonathan Chitwood.
Hello.
Hello. These are my former bandmates. We were in a band together. Oddly enough, the fourth member of Stale, not here tonight. He wasn't going to be, but he's a dad now.
Yes.
His son was born today. Congratulations, DJ.
Yes, congrats, buddy.
Isn't that weird, though? Like, we just randomly, I was like, let's do Deftones. And Evan was the first person I hit up. And I was like, who would be good? Let's get Jonathan. And then I'm thinking, oh my God, Stale. I was going to try to get DJ, but he hates lists.
He does hate lists.
He wanted nothing to do with a list show, and that's all this is lists. So Deftones, to me, like, I'm a Chino guy, man. Like you were saying right before we went on air, very cryptic. You don't know necessarily where he's coming from, but you can always tell he's wearing the emotion right on his sleeve. And as a lead singer, like, I always wanted to combine Chino with Billy Corgan. And to me, that was, I may not have nailed it, but that was what I was always going for. Like, to have the kind of lyricism that Billy had with the raw emotion that Chino had. And for me, that's what brought me to the dance with the Deftones. And it got me through so many long nights of just yelling and screaming in my car, really, and yelling and screaming into a microphone eventually, which helped a lot and with writing. But how did you guys get into the Deftones?
You know, the funny thing is, originally, I thought the Deftones was a rap band.
Okay,
I thought they were rap. I was really big into Korn and Limp Bizkit at the time, and you know, just kind of getting into learn how to play guitar. I had sweet talked my parents into get me my first guitar and amp and everything like that, and I want to say that it was this ancient thing called MTV.
They used to do music on that.
Yeah, videos.
Yes,
and
that's what the M stood for.
Yes,
Oh,
music
television.
Whoa, yeah.
So I remember seeing a video for, oh goodness, what was it? My Own Summer.
Yeah.
And I was blown away. I'm like, this is the Deftones? And that got me hooked, like, right away.
Yeah. They've always had really good videos. Like, they don't shy away. They just kind of, they've always just done clever stuff, I've always thought.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's one of the things I miss the most about a lot of bands now. I mean, you can get on YouTube and you can search any band you want, and they'll have videos. They still do videos, but it's just, I wish we still had that music television thing to go to.
Yeah. Similar to Jonathan, I was on MTV, kind of a latecomer to Deftones because obviously they released their first album, Adrenaline, and then My Own Summer was off of Around the Fur. I believe it was the show 120 Minutes.
Yes.
With Matt Pinfield.
I'm Matt Pinfield.
Yes, the bald one. And the video for My Own Summer came on, and it was just like, I was like, what is this? It just in an instant, like, I got to find out more about these guys. I went to my local music store, bought Around the Fur, went through that. A couple weeks later, went back, bought Adrenaline, and it was just that. It was it from there. It was lifetime fan.
You've always worn your Abe Cunningham on your drumming sleeve.
Yes, I have. Yes, very. I don't shy away from that. He's a big influence on my drumming.
There's no real reason not to. That's a good drummer to look up to.
He is a solid drummer, no doubt.
I think that gets overlooked a lot because a lot of the attention goes to Chino, and
absolutely.
because he's a great frontman.
Right.
Yeah.
But musically, the Deftones are right on. They're right up there, man. Like they're nothing to snooze at.
No, they're not.
So to speak. And that's what brings us to this conversation because, listening to a lot of the newer stuff, some of it, like a Saturday Night Wrist, like going back and listening to it, I don't want to use the word bored because I don't know that I was necessarily bored, but like they take chances, which is great. Yeah. But I think Saturday Night Wrist, maybe they took too many. Whereas I felt like with like White Pony and Self-Titled and even Koi a little bit, they took chances that were just right on the money. And it was like musically, lyrically, sonically, like everything about them just rings true.
I might have to get on and do a little reading, into that album. Because, like, for me, we kind of had this conversation briefly.
Yeah.
When I was making my list, I found myself selecting a few songs. But I just didn't... Not that they're not good songs.
Right.
Stuff to really, move and jam out to. I just compared to the other albums. For me, a lot of the stuff that really, you have those songs that when you hear it, it just kind of hits that chord. It just resonates.
Yep.
And one of the things that I downloaded every album. Amazon Prime is awesome. Because I was like, oh, okay, this is a good reason to download them all. And I literally went through every album front to back and made a list. I'm like, yes, favorite that one. And I found myself going through Saturday Night Wrist pretty quick.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just based on the kind of the first gut reaction,
And I think that's pretty much where I lied on it because it's not about a bad album. Just nothing hits you that way of, yes, please let me hear that one again.
I agree with that, but there's probably about 3 from Saturday Night Wrist.
Okay.
And I think the reason is because the sound of that album is a little more ethereal. The guitars aren't as much in the forefront. Vocals, same with that. But yet the drumming... There's some great drumming on that album if you pay attention. And I think that's what got me listening to it a little more.
Drummer's Mind, yeah.
Drummer's Mind, right. Yeah. That's what I pick up on first. Like, oh man, Abe's killing it on this.
Yeah.
So to me, Saturday Night Wrist was a great album for Abe.
Right.
So, and therefore for me.
And, I also have to say that, like, in doing my homework for this, I feel bad because Koi and Saturday Night Wrist didn't get the time that they should have.
Yeah.
Because, the other albums I have this like comfort level with that, I could get them that one listen and I knew, yes. And there was songs that I didn't even have to listen to. I was like, no, these ones are on automatically. I don't have to listen to them.
Yeah.
Those are on.
Exactly. Yeah.
But do you think some of the songs that you knew automatically were from a nostalgic type purpose? So it took you back to a place earlier in your life where you're like, yes, this is this is what was going on this part of my life, this time, this day, this person, this situation, and that song got you through it, so that's why it's on your list.
Fair. But I also think that's part of what this is.
Oh, without a doubt.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
And I'll say, that kind of hits the nail on the head because for me, did we even mention that we're doing a top 10?
Music is a time machine.
We'll get there eventually.
Well, yeah, eventually.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I feel like we're talking about this subject that we haven't really mentioned that we're doing. But a lot of what went into my list was the early stuff.
Yeah.
But even though I had a few songs from Koi no Yokan, on it. But I kind of started thinking about, what kind of songs make up a top 10 list. And I kind of had to take a different look at the songs. Kind of feel like, a lot of what influences things sometimes is history. And letting things, there's been numerous albums that I've downloaded that I listened to front to back, and they were really good, but I fell in love with them the more I listened to them. And I kind of feel like that's something that maybe I didn't do with Saturday Night Wrist.
Give it the time it deserves.
I'm definitely going to have to go revisit that one. Yeah.
I talked to you guys, maybe 3 weeks ago about this show. So it's like I've been trying to give all the time, but I'm doing one of these a week, so I'm trying to give. It's hard to get all that music. And pretty much I only have from the time from my house to here to the studio to listen. So it's like it's easy with we did Blink-182 last week. Those are 30-minute records, so I can listen to one on the way here, one on the way back. And there we go, it's done.
Absolutely.
But Deftones not typically short. Now Jonathan did mention this is deprogrammed. What we do is the three of us have made a top 10 list and grabbed some honorable mentions, because one thing I found out is 10 is never enough. Number one, it's hard to get it down to the 10.
Dude, this was excruciating at certain points.
Yeah,
to just start
it really was.
Going
I didn't
through the
want to
list
leave anything
of
off.
18 songs I had, and just start lining through the ones. I was like, it hurts with everyone I crossed off.
It's like picking your dodgeball. Who's gonna be the last one?
Yeah, I'll tell you this one. It didn't make it. I didn't write it down anywhere on my list, but one that almost made it just because Stale covered it. Be Quiet and Drive.
Yeah.
I was gonna go there, but I did not, for the sake of there was other songs that I felt were better.
Exactly, and
and even though I got so much radio play, mainstream radio play, it was like, okay, there's a lot more to Deftones than that one single. So
one thing when it comes to the kind of song that Be Quiet and Drive is, I kind of started noticing some other songs that were vastly different but similar. They have similar things about them,
Not necessarily structure, but
maybe a chord progression, or just using a lot of
certain effects or tones.
Yeah, tones or open notes. One of the things I love about Stephen Carpenter is he kind of showed me that just freaking strumming, down the strings, with a totally open chord, is creative.
Can be, yeah, if you do it right, and place it in the right spot. Just to further my point, I feel like there was we did another Deftones song that I'm almost positive made my list. I haven't looked, but that we did that was better anyway. So, with that being said, I'm gonna hop in here and I'm gonna start with my number 10. And what we'll do is I'm gonna name the song. If it's on your lists, if it's on both of your lists, it automatically makes the show's top 10.
Okay.
And we'll go like that through each of our top 10s. And what I've found is after a couple songs, you start playing chess. You start looking through all your honorable mentions, and you start feeling out where the other guys are on the show, and just trying to land songs to get the top 10. And then if we get more than 10, we'll have a discussion about which ones we want to drop. So, but anything that is on all three of ours is automatically in.
I should have numbered mine.
Well, you don't have to.
I'm just messing with you, man.
I did not.
I'm going to start with MX from Around the Fur.
Did not make my list.
Uh-oh. We're in trouble right from the jump.
It was on my initial list, but it didn't make the cut.
Oh, all right. What do you got, Evan?
Oh, man. I'm going to go with Around the Fur from Around the Fur.
Oh, let me see.
Yeah.
Because I feel like Okay, I'm writing it down because it's on both of you.
Mm-hmm.
I swear to God, I almost had it, but it was one of those ones where I'm like,
It's like the most unmistakable opening drum beat ever.
I
Yeah.
tell you what, you know, being a guitarist, I find myself, I wish I knew how to play that. I really do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'd have to practice for 1,000 years to get the coordination because I don't have that. But man, that's what drew me into the song initially was the drum beat.
Ah.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Drop one on us, Jonathan.
Okay. Well,
It's gonna happen.
Let's go. I don't see any chicken pieces up in here.
no, I have had none today. Maybe tomorrow though. You never know. So my list is in no particular order. I could guarantee you my top 3, but I guess just starting with a number 10, Back to School.
Did not make my list. But again, it's. Go ahead.
Which version? Because they released multiple versions of that song on the White Pony albums. There's a white one, a white album, a red album, and I think a black one as
There's
well.
What Mini Maggot,
There's Mini Maggot,
Pink Maggot.
and then
and there might have just been one
So,
just Back to School.
that made my list.
This might be Pink Maggot.
Because there's the one that's like
Yeah.
the slower version.
Yeah, the Pink Maggot, Mini Maggot version
Yeah.
is the slower one that was on the red album.
Okay, so it's probably Mini Maggot,
Okay.
That's the
Yeah.
faster one. That's like
the hip hop
Yeah,
kind of.
yeah.
Yeah, the one that they
Also-
made a music video for.
Yeah.
yeah.
And that's another good question. The reason that made my list is because of that music video.
Oh,
So
Nice.
I mean, who doesn't want to go just overtake their own high school?
Yeah.
and just
Yeah, dude.
cause chaos. So I was like, that makes me appreciate that song even
so
even
both
more.
you guys have Mini Maggot.
Yes.
All right, so I'll make anything that makes at least 2 of the 3 gets a mark because
Okay.
you'll see that there's going to be lots of songs that one of us does not have. So I'm going to put Mini
I think
Maggot
I
here.
got one.
Man,
in
are
here
we going
that
into
you guys are gonna
overtime?
Be like, what?
Yeah. Okay, well, let's see. I'm going to start hopping around my board here because you guys are playing some good chess here right off the top. All right, well, we're already on White Pony, and we were talking a little bit about this off air. You know, I always liked White Pony. I didn't realize how much I loved White Pony.
White Pony could have taken my top 10 list and then
Easily.
some because that album is start to finish a masterpiece in my mind.
And again, like I was saying at the top, it's like where they first started making changes.
Yeah.
They really stuck their necks out there with that
Yeah.
album, and I think that's what I love about it is they were like, we're going to take these chances, and you're going to love it.
Yeah, and that's when I believe that's when Frank Delgado, the DJ electronics programming guy, was part of the band during the recording of that album.
Yeah.
And you definitely hear that.
Oh yeah, and he brought just like a whole nother dimension
Yeah.
to the band. So I'm going to toss this out there, Teenager. Everybody's got to check.
No.
No Jonathan.
No.
Man, okay, that's crazy. All right, Evan. No, this happens to me every week, so it's okay. Denied. I never
man.
land anything.
Let's see. I guess since we're on a White Pony, talking about White Pony so much, I'm going to go with Elite.
God dang it! That one was seriously. Again, around the fur and Elite were like final cuts.
Okay. Elite for me. I mean, that song just comes so heavy right from the get-go, and it's just like, okay, Deftones are doing something completely out of the box.
Yeah.
And it actually, I think it won an album of the year sometime for something, a Grammy for best metal something or other.
Yeah.
I can't remember exactly.
Don't Google that,
Don't Google that. Yes.
Jonathan. What you got, man? Oh wait, was Elite on your list?
No.
No. All right, what you got, man?
Well, since we're on the whole White Pony kick,
Somebody's got to land one.
I'm getting a theme here.
how about Change in the House of Flies?
See, here's the problem. Because
I don't know.
it's a no. I have this bad problem with this show, and I shouldn't have done it. I definitely shouldn't have done it with Blank, and I guess really I shouldn't have done it with Deftones either. I have this piece of my mind, the hipster part of my mind, that eliminates radio songs like almost right off the jump.
It's a great song.
It
Yeah.
is.
Can't take that away from it.
I had a hard
can't.
time.
However, it didn't make my list either.
Was it for the same reason or just
I think so.
a late cut?
I think so. That's kind of like why my own summer. As much as that song brought me into the Deftones, it didn't make my list
Yeah.
because it was a very popular song.
Yeah. And sometimes that takes away from how good a song is, and it sucks. But it's just sometimes that's just reality.
Absolutely.
I think for me, kind of thinking back at that particular time when that song was out, it really struck a chord with me. But that was actually the last one that I added to the list.
Oh yeah, so it
Yeah.
was like a late entry.
It was
Late entry. I'm not. It's crazy. We all love White Pony, but we can't land one. Okay, so I'm gonna abandon White Pony for a second. I'm gonna move on over to self-titled, and this one's my number 2. Like, one and two haven't changed. Like, they've been the same for a long time. And this is also one that we almost covered, Hexagram.
Love that song.
Oh my God!
Great song that we covered. It was on my honorable mentions.
Yeah.
Okay,
So-
Same
okay.
here.
So it's on your honorable mentions. Okay, so I'm putting a mark by it. So
yeah.
excellent.
Yes.
So we've got one. We've got one. But I mean, okay, just from a Chino standpoint, the way he's flopping around vocally is just insane. But with that, Abe's flopping around with him too.
Yeah.
And just like this ridiculous beat. Whap, 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 whap. Oh my God. I was like, holy hell. That's track 1, right? That's
Yeah.
the way they
Yeah,
open
they open.
self-titled.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of the Deftones to me.
Yeah.
It's things like that really define just their capability to be able to go and do something that just smacks you in the face like that.
Yeah.
And then turn around and like acoustic versions of Be Quiet and Drive. I mean,
Very good. Yeah.
It's like two opposite ends of the universe.
And that's why I like Teenagers so much. It's got
I was
that,
just going to come back to that.
yeah, it's got that same like laid back feel that the acoustic versions of the song. Okay, so I'm putting a mark by Hexagram. If we don't get 10 hexagrams in. What you got, Evan? So you're starting to hop around your board, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
Trying to land one.
The hop, exactly. It's like sinking battleships here, man. Wow, let me see here. Okay, I'm going to leave White Pony for a bit. Let's go to Diamond Eyes. Beauty School.
That's actually in my top 10. Where are you?
It's probably an honorable mention.
Okay, so I'm going to put a mark by it.
Great song. Has
Right?
like an awesome feel to it. And going back to like Chino's lyrics, I didn't really pick up on what the lyrics were about until I start doing some of this research. And then I read them. I was like, this is kind of a dirty song. It's about oral sex.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I was like, bonus, I guess, for the content of the lyrics.
Word.
Yeah. Word. So, just the arrangements, how everything is just flows to that song is just awesome.
I tried to fight beauty school. Like,
Don't fight it.
I ended up giving up. Well, because there's a song, and we'll get to it later, that I like better. And stubborn me, I'm like, no, this one's better. And, again, to me, it still is. But to me, I'm shutting off Beauty School because I like this other song better. And I'm like, why am I fighting this? It's a damn good song. Stop. There's no reason it can't also be on my top 10.
Yeah.
And so here it is. It's on my top 10.
So I struggle with that a lot, man. This should have been a top 25.
Right? You want to try and land one?
Yeah, let me
B5.
throw another. You sunk my battleship. I'm gonna throw another kind of hip hop inspired one that I just love the way it freaking just jumps into the song is Head Up.
God dang it. I don't have Head Up. Head Up wasn't even
Evan.
Honorable mention.
Honorable
It was
mention?
one of the ones I crossed out.
Okay, so I'm going to put a mark by it. It's on both of yours. It hurts, though, because when somebody says a song that, like, you seriously thought, man, yeah, that should go on. You know what? This one's a slightly... I'm going to take it off. And then the two you have it.
Agony, dude.
Told
Yeah,
you, when I said it was
told me.
excruciating, man, I wasn't playing around.
You told me, you were like, well, our list is probably going to be a lot different.
Yeah. Yeah. So you got to come with those extras. But I mean, that's also, I think, what makes this a lot more fun. Because
yeah.
so far, everybody who's come in, nobody's getting butthurt.
Right.
And it could. Some people do with music,
Could
like
go to fisticuffs.
yeah, because man, I like this song better. You're stupid. Okay, so I'm fighting with.
That sounds like Pantera fans. As much as I love Pantera,
Yeah.
Yeah.
the typical skinhead kind of mentality.
Oh yeah. I briefly thought about doing a Pantera one, but I realized I can only go about 2 albums deep, and I was like, I want none of that.
Yeah. Probably a good call.
Yeah, and like,
Let's just do a dime bag one.
all right.
Damage Plan.
I was waiting for that to get brought up.
Well, let's take it all the way back to Adrenaline. I'm going to toss this one right out here. Bored.
Yes.
No.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm putting a mark by it because it made Jonathan's. Was it one of those excruciating cuts, or just you breezed right by it?
Wasn't. I mean, I went through every album.
Yeah.
And obviously, I mean, I listened to it. I know I'm very familiar with the song and a lot of the drum parts to it. Just wasn't one of those things. I thought about it, and then I thought about another song. And I was like, these guys probably don't remember this song. It was from that era.
Yeah.
So I'm going to throw that doozy out there a little bit later.
Okay. Well, for me, I get bored.
It's so simple.
It's so simple, and it also inspired me to write Sleepy. Like that. I mean, if you listen to Sleepy, it's basically an ode to ADD.
Yeah.
And it's very much a sister song to Bored, and I feel like it's definitely the first Stale song that was directly influenced by the Deftones.
Yeah.
For me personally. So,
But a lot of my early days learning to play guitar, it was just trying to learn every song, like on that album.
yeah.
And they were just so simple for learning, at least. I mean, yeah.
Well, that's another thing that's great about Deftones. Even as a musician starting out, there's things you can learn of theirs to play, and it makes you feel a little bit more accomplished and not as defeated. You're like,
exactly.
okay, there is stuff that's accessible to me at this level of my musicianship, and it's a little more gratifying.
And other people will think I'm cool.
Absolutely.
Yes.
It'll get you chicks.
Yes. Chicks, man. Chicks. All right, Evan, you want to toss one out? Boyd's
Yes.
got a mark by it.
Okay, well, since we're talking about Adrenaline, Engine number 9.
Okay, I've got it on my my honorable mentions, so it's getting the mark for
Okay.
2 of us, but it looks like Jonathan doesn't have it.
Womp womp.
See?
This is what I struggle with because I could literally just like I could add that entire album.
Yeah,
And I almost did. But I was like, no, I'm going to go with the ones that really stand out to me.
yeah.
It was 10 tracks.
Yes.
Yeah, right
Yeah.
on the money.
So,
All right, well, you want to toss one out? See, now
I'm
he's
gonna go with,
going around the checkerboard too.
Digital Bath.
It had that same radio thing to me, but you have it.
Yes.
Okay.
Love that song. I mean,
area.
It is great though.
Again, not to beat the dead horse, the drumming in that. I mean,
Boom, boom.
yeah, it just comes in, and I mean, he has these really cool accents on the hi hat, and it's just simple, but at first listen, but once you tune into it, there's a lot more going on than what you think on the surface. And the story behind that song is pretty crazy too. I don't know if you know lyrically what it's about.
No.
It's about electrocuting a girl in a bathtub.
Oh, that
Oh,
makes
nice.
sense.
Yeah, it was, Chino writes a lot of fiction.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
There's nothing necessarily based on truth or anything, but I'm sure there was probably some sort of drugs or alcohol involved when he was during his writing process, and he just kind of had this story of picking up some, writing the story fictionally about picking up some chick and then taking her home and just putting her in a bathtub and then like throwing a toaster in or something that's plugged in.
Whoa.
Yeah, it was kind of nuts.
Yeah.
But very dark tone lyrically, musically, not so much.
What's funny is as soon as Jonathan said "digital bath," the lyrics started flooding my brain. I'm like, oh man, I feel like I missed there. I should have had that one.
I always defer whenever I think of that song. I don't know what it is. One of the things I love the most about the song really is right at the beginning. I mean, and it's got that sample of, I don't know how to describe it, like air or
Yeah.
like an empty room, and it just sets this tone. Yeah, that. Doom,
You
doom,
moved.
doom.
Oh, so good. Dang it. I can't believe I didn't have that. Now I feel bad.
You should.
I feel
Yes.
really bad for not having that. Oh, okay. Like, I'm not landing anything here. I don't know what I should toss out there. Okay, let me stay with Diamond Eyes for a second and see if I can land this one. This is my favorite Deftones song of all time.
Oh, wow.
Diamond Eyes threw me for a loop because I wouldn't say that I necessarily had written off the Deftones by the time Diamond Eyes comes out, but I had written off the Deftones of old. I didn't think that there was an album like Diamond Eyes in them anymore.
Yeah.
And the first notes of Diamond Eyes hits, and I'm like, that's old Deftones. Okay. And so, like, I'm listening to the album, and then Command Control comes up. Holy hell. Oh my God, it has everything guttural that I love about Chino in it. And by your stares, I'm guessing neither of you has it.
So close
Sorry.
to making my list. I had to make cuts, and that just got completely axed.
Oh,
Sorry,
my number one never makes it. But oh my God, if you haven't heard Command Control,
Fantastic song.
I've always wondered about Chino's singing style. How much of it is? I feel like a lot of what he does vocally is deliberate, because in one song, and I would say around the time of kind of Diamond Eyes on through Koi no Yokon, he just had this very ethereal kind of way of singing sometimes. Like,
Yeah.
you can listen to his pitch and know that he's dead on key and perfect, but then he'll throw in this little, like, kind of waver of just a little bit off key, but it sounds intentional.
yeah.
And I've always wondered, if that was intentional, or
Had I been on the ball, I would have like reached out to him to try to get him on the show. But running a radio station kind of takes a lot of time.
if he happens to ever listen
Really?
to this,
Yeah, Chino.
Call
Chino,
in.
call in.
Just as a side note, he may, because we did a Local H episode a couple weeks back, and Local H, I don't know if they ever listened to it, but they actually liked the post.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
That's kind of neat. You know
That
what
is
I mean?
pretty. That is
you
pretty
should
sweet.
tell them the Washington D.C. story.
Oh God, that one hurts still. Okay, this is completely off topic, but we got to talk about this because Local H fans. Did you see Joe's coming back aboard for the tour?
I did not see that.
Yeah.
That is fantastic.
They're doing the 20 Years As Good as Dead tour.
Wow.
And Joe's going to be on it.
That's
he's,
awesome.
He's doing drums for it. They're
That's
playing
awesome.
front to back As Good as Dead on the tour.
That's a great album.
That's
uh,
a amazing
make
album.
Off
that
topic,
one.
but great album.
Completely
Yes.
off topic. But we were there. I had to talk about it.
Yeah.
All right. So I tossed out Command Control and got denied.
Denied.
What you got, Evan?
Oh man. Okay. I'm gonna go to Koi no Yokon.
Okay.
Poltergeist.
Late edition. It made my honorable mentions.
Okay.
Like I listened.
I would say it's an
listening to it.
honorable mention.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a few.
I was listening yesterday, and I was like, I had a different song on there, and I'm like, I went back and listened to it, and I wasn't feeling it the same way. I was like, this is a good album. Something should hit me, and then like it's like 2 tracks later, Poltergeist comes on. I'm like,
A little clap track at the beginning.
Yeah.
And the drums are syncopating with it. It's
Yeah.
just, oh, dude.
I was like,
awesome.
how did I miss this last time? Okay, this one's on. Poltergeist, definitely.
I kept adding stuff from that album, and then I just kept thinking, I'm like, I feel like I'm doing a disservice to all the other albums because this one's so new,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and I didn't really quite know what to do with the songs. I really loved them, and I know that I'm gonna love them.
Well, they haven't stood the test of time to you yet because it's still so
Yeah.
new.
Yeah. You haven't.
That's true.
I found with Koi that I just haven't had the personal time with it. You know what I mean? And it's a lot harder to do nowadays because I used to be a delivery driver and I was in my car all the time, and albums just front to back every night.
Yeah.
Like 3 or 4 of them sometimes, and just having that personal time with them. I haven't had that with Koi. So
And I can pop a earbuds in my ears at work most of the time now,
yeah.
and get that little personal time. So me time.
I'm a stay-at-home dad. So
What time?
yeah,
The kids can listen to Deftones. What are you talking about?
my son would love it. I
Just the
guarantee
acoustic
it.
stuff.
He loves Local H. Like I've got a Hey Killer on vinyl, and we've got it up on a shelf. And almost every day he goes up to it. Dad, I want to listen to this. I'm like, your mom hates that.
But good job,
Put it
son.
on.
Hey, at least he's not going for like Hanson.
Mike, he's gonna have a whole jacked up because he sings Hanson songs too because she listens to it.
That poor
So,
child.
Poor
No,
me.
poor you.
Poor me, really.
Yeah.
Jonathan, you want to toss one out here? See if we can land one.
Okay, let's see. I have a feeling this one probably won't be on either of your lists, but When Girls Telephone Boys.
Did not make it.
You know, which ones is that on?
Oh, goodness. That is on...
Self-titled?
No.
It's either self-titled or Saturday Night Wrist, right?
Yeah.
Because I was looking through Saturday Night Wrist like one last time to see if there was something I should listen to, and like the name grabbed me, and so maybe I should have given it a last listen, but alas,
it's got that heavy feel of Hexagram.
yeah. So
And
maybe I
that's-
should have given it. Hey, that's you only have so much time to do your homework.
Exactly.
Oh man.
All right, Justin.
Okay, let's
No.
go. That's how I feel. It's going. Let's go back.
No whammies.
Let's go back to White Pony. And this is another song that Stale covered that I feel like we did really well. Street Carp.
That was an honorable mention.
Honorable mention.
Okay, so I'm getting a mark. I'll take the honorable mention. It's not that I care.
Get it, so write it down.
Yeah, get it, so write it down. And again, I mean, I guess it's more of a personal connection for me because I learned the lyrics and I was like, these are good. I like these. And just remembering, it's a tie back to Stale for me. So when I hear that, I think about performing it. I think about how much I like the song, how much energy is in that song.
And that's the same reason it made even my honorable mentions. Like, we played it, we did a pretty darn good job of it, I feel.
Yeah. I'm no Chino, but
I'm no
Abe.
Abe. I'm no Abe, but I think we did it justice.
Yeah, I don't feel like anybody would have. Although nobody knew it was the covers we picked.
Yeah, it's when musicians pick musician songs.
Yeah.
It's not. They're not necessarily something everybody knows, but
It's kind of a blessing and a curse.
Yeah,
because there might be like a handful of people at a show that are like, "Oh yeah, awesome, great job," and then
everybody else
is looking at you like,
"Skinner,
yeah, free bird."
Oh God. Okay, so we got a mark there. Oh, looks like we may not be landing anything that's on all three of ours, but it looks like we're gonna have up and over 10 songs that at least two of us like. So we may do some cuts. So why don't you toss another one out there, Evan?
Okay. Saturday Night Wrist. I told you there's quite a few of these off that album. I'm not sure why, but well, actually, I do know why. I said that earlier.
Yes.
The song, it was actually renamed. On the version of the album I have, it's called Comanche.
Mm-hmm.
It was renamed to Rivery.
No.
Don't know that one? Oh, man, they even have a video for that one.
See, that's I
really good.
I did not give Saturday Night Wrist its just
It's
desserts.
really good.
I really didn't. I feel bad about that because
What's it called?
It's called Rivery. I think it's spelled. Don't ask me how to
do
spell
not
it.
have that song at all.
oh
Really? Do you have Comanche? Maybe it's under that.
Uh-oh.
Amazon Prime did you dirty.
Yeah.
They screwed you over, Jack.
Oh, wait. Maybe I'm looking at the wrong album.
That could be a problem.
Yep.
Looking at
that's
Adrenaline.
Adrenaline. Where's this Comanche song on Adrenaline?
Okay. I see it.
Is it called Comanche or Rivery?
Rivery.
Oh, see?
Okay. Yep. Evan strikes or
I got nothing.
got nothing there. Whiff.
Big goose egg.
What you got, Jonathan?
Oh, man. Let's see. I think I might throw well, obviously I guess the most obvious one, My Own Summer, Shove It.
I explained that. Yeah. I
Radio.
understand. I can completely if it would have been on both of your lists, I would totally understand it. And
Yeah.
it seriously did almost make mine for the same reason of I don't know who they are without that song.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I can totally understand that argument.
Yeah.
But I weighed that against how many times did I hear it, and I was at one time I never wanted to hear it again.
Yeah. It was
You know what I mean?
it was played a lot. It was
Yeah, it
heavy
was.
in heavy rotation.
It was. For me, I think it was one of those few songs that just really grabbed me enough and influenced me enough to where I could literally listen to it over and over again on repeat.
Wow.
And there are very few songs that I can do that with.
I will say this about that song though. It really is it's a perfect song to get you into the Deftones because it's a perfect Deftones tone setter.
Absolutely.
It's got that lazy aggressive feel that they're kind of famous for.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
It's kind of on the topic of Deftones, but another question the one posted is, have you ever heard anyone that you've talked to, personal, work life, and mention the Deftones and have anyone say, oh, I don't like that band? I have yet to hear anyone say, I don't like the Deftones.
Yeah.
I did, but I immediately wiped his opinion from my memory because like he's tried to come at me with I don't think it was Nickelback, but it was something like that. I was like, dude,
Creed?
I was like, dude, your opinion means nothing.
Yeah.
Get away from me.
Yeah, okay. Okay. Yeah, that doesn't count.
Yeah, exactly. you can't say oh Deftones terrible and then Creed rules. No, man.
That's the worst.
Invalid.
Yeah.
Invalid.
But I have yet to come across anybody. It's like, oh, what's your favorite band? I was like, Deftones. They're like, yeah, they're a good band. They may not be their favorite, but I have yet to say like, oh, that band's trash. They're garbage.
Yeah.
Never.
Yeah, and if you go see them live, it's just a whole other experience.
grief.
Are you guys thinking about going with DJ?
I'm not sure. I saw his post about it, and I'm debating. I will probably have a newborn.
Yeah, I was gonna say
during that
your kid will
time.
be 4 or 5 months old. He's gonna.
I'm
She.
I'm
So,
out of the
it's all
loop on
good.
that front right now.
Oh, well, you're a smart man getting off of the Facebook machine.
Yes.
Facebook is. Unfortunately, I need it for things like what I'm doing right now.
Right.
But
It's
yeah,
necessary evil in nowadays.
yeah, it is.
Facebook's a devil.
But like I said, DJ's a new dad today. Evan will be before the end of the month. Yes.
No, May 18th is the due date, so
Oh,
next
okay.
month. So
Okay.
yeah, month
Man,
and
all my
6
getting all
weeks
my
out.
Kids mixed up. they're all over the place. Well,
Everywhere.
I think what happened was because Jenny was like a week overdue.
Yeah.
and so like now I'm thinking April. It's
Yeah.
a whole thing. I'm gonna try to toss. I don't know which one though. I really don't, because I don't have a very good feeling. Because every time I go
About the
to
feels.
every time we go to okay.
Feelings.
You know what? I'm gonna toss this one out there because you had beauty school, and that's what worries me. It's because I feel like some people would have had only one or the other of these two, but I have them both. You had beauty school. I've got You've Seen the Butcher.
No.
Damn.
There is another song on my list from Diamond Eyes, but that is not it.
You've Seen the Butcher.
Good song.
And now
Didn't
it's Seen
make
the
list.
Butcher from the
Yes,
list.
it's on the chopping block, so to
Yes.
speak.
Dang it. Okay, Ev, what you got?
I don't even know if I should throw out the one from Diamond Eyes now. I'm kind of like, eh.
Well, I think I got two more from Diamond Eyes on honorable mention.
Okay. Risk.
Yep. That's on my honorable. It's number
Yeah.
11.
Yeah.
It almost was on.
Fantastic song. I mean, it has a deep personal meaning to me, but because the song's about Chi.
Yeah.
It's pretty obvious in the lyrics, but just kind of be in that situation, like having a loved one in the hospital.
Yeah.
Just trying to, knowing you can't do anything for them, but still, like, by sheer willing them to try to get better, even though, there's not really anything
Yeah.
else you can do.
Yeah.
It's tough.
It's like it almost worked too.
Yeah.
I was really bummed when I heard about that. Just kind of an off topic, because I heard that he was like semi-conscious. I'm like, thank God, he's on his way. It's just a rough road ahead, and then it's like gone.
Yeah.
Man, talk about killing the mood in a room. I mean, we were there.
We were there. I mean, it's a great song.
Yeah, it is.
The music's great in it. The lyrical content's great in it to me. So that's why I made my list.
Yeah, it's got my honorable mention. Did it?
It's probably a lot of my honorable mentions are memorized.
Yeah.
because I went through this whole like logical elimination process of using a notepad on my Android device.
You wrote an algorithm.
Yes, just about.
I mean, I approach people about the show, and I'm like, it's not as easy. Like, it sounds easy. It sounds easy, but it's not.
Oh no.
Even if you're 10 or easy, thinking about there's going to be at least 2 other people in the room that you're sort of sparring with. You're sort of playing Battleship with.
Yeah.
You're trying to land stuff.
It would be pretty boring if everybody had the same.
Well, exactly.
And that
show would be like 10
could
minutes
almost
long.
say something about people too,
Yeah.
because there's a lot of people that just kind of jump on the radio bandwagon,
Yeah. And that's
or
fine.
radio hits bandwagon.
Yeah, and that's fine if that's your bag. But, you know, I don't know. Like, there's some bands where their radio hits are equally as good as their album stuff.
Yeah,
To me,
some
Deftones
bands that
just aren't.
get a
Yeah.
lot of radio play, and they still manage to kind of hang on to that allure that just keeps them going.
Oh, shnikes. I just looked at the time. It's already 51. Oh, my gosh. Okay. I've got 1, 2, 3 left on my top 10, so I'm going to blast those out and see if I land any of these,
Okay.
and then you
I
guys
got
can do
3
the same.
left.
I've got Pharmacy Queen.
No.
No,
Dang. I was really hoping for that one. Root.
No.
Oh. Ohabia.
No.
labia.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
I thought it was-
LHAB.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I thought it was labia.
It's LHABIA.
It
I
might
don't
be,
know,
but
but that was on my honorable mention.
Okay, so I'm
Yeah.
going to put a mark by it. I don't know how to pronounce it.
Yeah.
I've always thought it was labia.
It might be
Maybe.
just like a clever way to spell
Spell it.
labia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Could be.
all right, Ev, you want to drop your last of your top 10?
Yeah, let's throw these out there real quick. Okay, here's that weird one from the Adrenaline era, Teething, which was off the Crow City of Angels soundtrack. It was
That's why
going to
I
be
don't
on
know
it. It was going to be on Adrenaline,
man.
but it didn't make the cut, so they gave it
See?
to the release a song to the Crow City of Angels soundtrack.
Oh.
That
And
song,
that was an interesting little discussion we had, about, because I didn't even think about that.
that song is dude.
Originals.
Look at that.
yeah,
Listen to
soundtrack
that
stuff.
song.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good.
Yeah,
it's
it's
a
a
that
good one.
What was
so
it again? Let me look it up.
Teething.
Teething. Okay, I want to make sure I look it up. Teething.
Yep.
Got it.
Ricketts
That one almost
Yes.
made it. Almost.
is on
It
your
was an
list.
honorable mention.
Honorable mention. Okay.
Put a mark by it.
And Needles and Pins.
God dang, that one almost made it too. But it did not.
Nope.
No. All right, so Jonathan, blast through yours.
So these 3, any list, anytime, these are going to be there. These are those 3, the definitive ones. And I would say that probably it's going to be minus Blindfold, it's going to be Passenger, and then it's going to be Around the Fur.
Okay, so we've got that around the fur. Here, I have a problem with Passenger.
Me too. That's a Tool song in my mind.
Yeah, it is.
It sounds almost too much like a Tool song to me.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It's
man,
like a
the
Tool song
guitars-
featuring Chino.
that's how I always
That's
felt
how
about
I
it,
felt
too.
about it.
Even
It's a
though
great song. I love the song,
Yeah.
but I was like, is that really a Deftones song to me?
I have the same feeling about it, and minus Blindfold did not make my list. But that being said, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. All the disagreeing we did, 13 still landed at least 2 of us.
Nice.
All right, so now we got to cut 3. Hexagram hit all 3 of us at least on an honorable mention, right?
Yes.
All right, so Hexagram is in. Let's see, Board was 2 of us, right?
Mm-hmm.
Beauty School was 2 of us.
Mm-hmm.
Labia, was that all 3 of us?
Mm-mm.
That was 2 of us.
Yeah.
Was Street Carp all 3 of us? Was anything all 3 of us?
Streetcar.
That was an honorable mention for
that was
me.
An honorable. for
Okay,
me.
so Street Carp's in then, because it
Okay.
hit all 3 of us. Engine number 9 was 2. Poltergeist was 2.
2 of us.
And then Ricketts, Digital Bath, Head Up, Around the Fur, and Mini Maggot were all 2 of us. Okay, so the only 2 that are in, and we got to fill out the other 8. We got to lose 3. Was Hexagram and Street Carp, right?
Yeah.
All right, so let's start weeding them out. All right.
I really wish you could hear teething right now. It would make your list. I guarantee it.
All right.
I'm projecting.
How do we feel about board right now? Because
that's definitive for me.
I feel the same way. Like, I know it didn't make your list.
It did not.
I know, but how do you feel? Like, if this if board made it into the top 10, would it hurt your feeling? Like, is it something where like you're just so vehemently against it?
No, I'm not like dead set against it.
Okay, so I'm just gonna leave it marked. How do we feel about beauty school? Because that's me and you, right?
That dude, that has. I mean, for me, that has to be on there.
How do you feel about beauty school?
I wouldn't be butthurt.
Okay, let's find ones that we can axe. Got to figure out something. Mini maggot around the fur. Wait, hold on. Let's do around. I'm putting digital bath through because that should have been on my list. Like, thinking about it now, I actually feel hurt.
You should feel hurt
that I didn't have that on my list. So
in
that
the
one's
hind
in.
parts.
So we have 7 more. We have 7 more. Ricketts made both of yours, but not mine. I'm not against it, but do we feel?
I remember you singing that song a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it one that we were looking to cover? Maybe.
Maybe that could have been it. Maybe that's why I remember that.
Okay, let's put it through then. Like I said, I don't have an argument against any of these, other than the only one I could have any argument against is Mini Maggot for radio play.
And I can understand that argument.
Yeah. I can understand that.
Okay,
too.
so we'll axe Mini Maggot.
Sure.
Poltergeist, engine number 9, Risk. If we're gonna lose one of those 3. I feel like Poltergeist has to stay because
it's off Koi.
It's newer. It's
Yeah.
like you said. It's got the syncopated claps at the beginning. It's different.
I would say
It's,
engine number 9. Then I would axe that.
I hate to say it, but that would be my first.
Engine number 9.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll axe that.
As much as I love that song.
That's a good know, man.
I mean, that's a problem.
But Risk is so
all of
deeply
these-
personal to me, man.
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh, I can't.
Doing
I
anything
can't
you
do
can
it.
to keep it.
Yeah.
Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We need to lose one more. All right, so these are both from Around the Fur. We got to lose one of these. Head Up or Around the Fur?
Oh man.
Out of the 2, I'd say Head Up.
Yeah.
See, that's where
I
I
would
was
lose
landing
Head Up.
too. Okay, so we're on
Can't
the same
deny that
page,
drum beat.
right? You can't.
Can't do it.
All right, so just to give it a quick, holy hell, it's 58.
It's all good, man.
I can't believe. No, I
Time
believe it.
flies.
I
That
definitely
hour
believe
went
it.
by real quick.
Time flew.
Let's see, Hexagram, Board, Beauty School, Labia, Risk, Street Carp, Poltergeist, Ricketts, Digital Bath, Around the Fur.
That's a good list.
That is a good list.
Damn good list.
That's a
If
real
somebody
good
comes
list.
away not liking Deftones,
I need a
I'm
copy of
listening.
that because I've got a playlist of like my top 10.
Do you have like a Spotify?
No.
Okay, well, I read an article.
I'll probably download it then.
Oh, you're not on the silly Facebook machine because you're smart.
because
I can
you're
still
smart.
log on.
Well, I always post it to the Facebook machine. I'll text you the link so you can check it out. And there's a Spotify link with it. Man, we did that.
We did.
Golly, so good seeing you guys.
Likewise, brother.
Yeah.
So good seeing you guys and talking Deftones for an hour. I feel like we
I'd like
easily
to
could
do
have done another hour.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we could-
Easily.
Man,
I'll talk to you about some of the bands that are coming up because there's some that I'm having a hard time getting either a second or even just a first. So I'll talk to you guys about it. Again, I'd like to remind you, Dead Week coming up next. If you dig Dead Week, if you dig Deprogrammed, if you dig Popped, hop on over to patreon.com/Radio Free Radio. Give us $1, man. Like it keeps conversations like this in your earbuds, and it keeps it seriously. Your dollar keeps the station afloat, and I can't stress that enough. We appreciate it. Make our station yours. It's Radio Free Radio, Deprogrammed. Oh my God, it's 11 o'clock. We're running over. We got to get out. Where's the thing? Evan, where's the thing?
Things right here.
Deftones. Learn them and love them, people.